Hi, we're still in Tucson, Arizona, at the Roof. Sorry. Hi, we're still in Tucson, Arizona, and I have a wonderful person here I want to interview and let you hear her story. It's really compelling what she's gone through at such a young age. Jordan, thank you so much for meeting with us this evening. Tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about your age, first of all, and tell us what you've gone through and why you're here. We'd love to hear that.
All right. My name is Jordan. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm currently here in Tucson, Arizona at the Gospel Rescue Mission. What got me here was a spiral of events, but the main reason I'm here is because of heroin. I started using when I was 16. I met a boyfriend and, I thought he was just it, and he was a dealer and I was using with him, and eventually it got progressively worse from smoking to IV using, and it landed me in a lot of trouble. I've been to jail, I've been to the mental institution, and I've been very close to death. My first overdose was in July of 2010, and it didn't wake me up like it should have. A lot of people don't get more than one overdose. My dad found me, resuscitated me, and I went about my business and eventually went back to the drug. The second time was July of 2012, July 15th or the 10th, I believe. And once again, my dad found me. I was not breathing, and he resuscitated me. And this last overdose was one of the worst, and most people don't get 3. I know about 18 people in the last 3 years that have died from this drug. This last overdose, I did my thing, and after that, I really don't remember. But I woke up in a hospital bed, and when I woke up, my dad told me that I had aspirated my vomit and wasn't breathing, and I gave myself aspiration pneumonia, which landed me in the emergency room in intensive care unit, and I was on full life support, oxygen, everything, and into ventilator and some tube to try to drain the fluid out of my lungs. And they told my parents that, you're not going to make it. They told them, your daughter's not going to live. You're not going to see her again. And that scared them. They thought I was going to die. But for the grace of God, I'm here to tell you that I have a plan in life, and God's not done with me. He's really had his hand on me. Even when I drifted away from him, he was still there. And that just blows my mind, because there's no possible way that I could say there's not a God, because I was delivered from death 3 times. I believe that if it wasn't for God, I'd be buried 6 feet under, and my parents would have had to bury their baby. And that's just terrible, the horror of losing a child to addiction. And I'm blessed, and I'm here to say that, God's there, and he really loves everybody.
Wow, tell us how old you are.
I'm 20.
20 years old and has gone through all these things here. It's unbelievable. So when you were on your life support, you were on life support for 6 days, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you got out of the hospital and you figured out what was going on, you needed some help, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
So what happened then?
Well, I figured out, I was like, wow, this isn't normal for people to do this. I'd always just justified my using. I'm young, I do things like this, it happens. I got kind of an option. I was either, you need to get some help, or, my parents, they said that you can't be living life like this anymore. We don't want to find you like that anymore. It's not fair to us. It's not fair to your sister and your brother. And so my aunt and uncle live here in Tucson, and they they know the Gospel Rescue Mission, and they got me here in September, and I've been here since September. I am blessed to be here. This is an amazing place, and I'm actually looking at graduating on the 4th of February.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I plan on, returning home on the 18th, and I plan on getting plugged into church and my recovery program, and especially God. I feel if as long as you're locationally right in your spirit, it doesn't matter where you're locationally, geographically.
That's right. It doesn't matter at all, does it? Mm-hmm. So if you had one thing to tell our viewers that you would like to tell them about your situation and what you've gone through, what would you tell somebody that maybe is going through something right now? How should they reach out and get help? How should they reach out and get help?
I would tell them don't get up. Sorry. I would tell them don't give up. You'd be surprised what if you reach out to somebody for help. There's a lot of people that are willing to help people, like us, you, whoever you may be. And God doesn't give up on you either. You may think that your life's over and everything's just horrible, but God has a plan for every single one of us, and He's just waiting for us to make the motion to get that help and reach out and make it known to Him. And I think that with God, everything is possible. There's nothing too hard for Him. You just have to believe.
Yeah, God's bigger than anything, isn't He?
Mm-hmm.
And I bet there was times in your life you didn't feel you were worthy of anything, didn't you?
Yeah.
But God was always there the whole time. You just didn't know it,
Mm-hmm.
or you didn't accept it.
Yeah.
But now you're a full Christian. You surrendered your life to the Lord, and so you have everything to look forward to now, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And I've seen you in classes and stuff. I know you're a real leader. I can tell you that. So I really feel that they've really helped you here, and I can see you going out in the world and making a big difference. And I just know that God's going to be with you, and that you'll do that. And I want to keep up with you. Well, here you have it. You know what? 20 years old, heroin addict. She overdosed 3 times, and God saved her. You can't tell me that a story can't get too much worse than that. Almost death on life support. So, you know what? God loves you. He loves you right where you are. So you just need to find someone to help. You just need to find somebody to help get you in a program if you need to be in one, because there is help out there. But the number one help, of course, is the Lord. Seek Him always. Seek the Lord always. Jordan, thanks so much for letting us interview you today. I know that you've really inspired someone, and God bless you, and I'm excited about your graduation.
God bless you. I'm excited that you're here. It's a blessing to have you with us.
Thank you. That's it?
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.